Okay, so we got a few minutes before the market opens up. The the low float gainers, that's from yesterday, top traded and biggest gainers. These have not updated because they don't update after the market closes, and they'll update when the market opens up. So they'll be cleared out at 9:30, and then we'll have to wait for about a minute or two for it to populate. Now, if we look at pre-market gainers, I'm going to look at that real quick. Uh, pre-market movers. Pre-market movers. As you can see here, pre-market movers. We had ZNB. We did trade that earlier. We traded that in ULY. ULY. I shut down the stream like at 9 o'clock, roughly, and then ULY kind of popped in with some news. Something about partners with Sony, Honda, Mobility America. I'm not sure. So there was a catalyst for that and ULY, and as you can see here, it definitely moved. Once it caught on, it definitely moved. Now that is a 1 minute. Normally, you're looking for a 1 minute for a pullback. Now, when stocks like that move, on my other screen, I usually have a 1 minute and a 15 seconds. So you can look at a 15-second chart. And once that really starts moving, once it starts moving like this, you wait for a pullback. You wait for a micro pullback like right here. What you can do is you can wait for, as it's running up, you wait for a micro pullback like it did here. You can get in here, put your stop down here. Now, once you got up here, you want to take some off because it seemed like it was just kind of fizzling out. And then that right there would have netted you roughly about 40, maybe 40 cents, 30, 40 cents. Okay. So that's how you can make those plays. And then, as you can see here, we kind of flagged out a little bit. And then you can get in on the break of that high right there. You can get in on the break of that high right there. And then you could have gotten yourself some a little bit more right there. And as you can see on this pullback right here, the volume kind of dried up, which is nice, and that's what you're looking for. And what you can do is once you get up here, you can try to get that pop. It broke the $7, the whole dollar mark. It kind of held. You can sell half, and then you can move to a mental break even because it's pre-market, and move to a mental break even. As you can see, it did not break that, and then you could have taken some more off up in this area. So that, if you got that, that's good job. uh, I shut down the stream before then because normally things don't hit at 9 o'clock, but that one did. That one hit. So good job if you caught that one. Let's go back to a 5 minute. uh, I'm going to look at the SPY here. I'm just going to bring up the SPY. So we got, all right, the market should be open. Market's open, people. Market is open. It's going to take a while for those to populate. Once it populates, these will get cleared out. It might take like a minute or two. Oh, let me top traded. I'm going to be looking at the top traded. Okay, we got the news. We have open that has news, ACHR that has news for top traded. Yep, path, BMNR. Okay, as you can see here, it kind of biggest movers, top traded. The server has to run through this stuff. DVLT, top traded. It'll, yep. See, now it updated. It just takes a few minutes for it to run through the thousands of stocks to update all these lists here. We got the SPY moving up. I'm just going to keep a lookout here. Not, what is that? That's a 1 minute. I don't want a 1 minute. I want a 5 minute. Okay. 5 minute. Mm-hmm. We have top traded. What I'm looking for top traded with a catalyst, with a news. Now, DVLT doesn't have anything. AMDL doesn't have anything. Okay. Biggest movers, REKR. That's moving to the downside. We got BNC. Okay, BNC, LIDR, LIDR. Whoops, LIDR. I'm looking on another screen here. I'm looking on another screen. LIDR, yeah. It's kind of in the way. We'll see. BNC kind of kicking off. BNC. We got AMDL. Top traded is ones that have big volume. Now I'm looking at biggest movers too, but what I'm trying to do is just find one that's actually moving pretty good. LIDR is kind of moving to the downside. I don't think we want to touch that. DVLT, we don't want to touch that. AMDL. AMDL might be something. AMDL might be something. AMDL, I don't see any catalyst for that. That's the problem with that. Okay, we got some top traded with some news. We got SES. Got REKR. Got LIDR. REKR. That's selling off. I wouldn't touch that. SES. That might be something. SES. SES. AMDL. SES and AMDL. SES AI enhanced leadership of material discovering in battery industry with newest version of molecular universe and enterprise level subscription offerings. That's on SES. Now AMDL. AMDL. AMDL doesn't have a catalyst. That's the problem with that. Alrighty. AMDL does not have a catalyst. But we'll see what happens. It says REKR, but REKR is selling off. I wouldn't touch that. SES, I wouldn't touch that. SES is up 14%. SES. REKR is not looking good. Yeah. RE REKR, SES is REKR has a catalyst, not looking good. LIDR has a catalyst, that's not looking too hot. SES has a catalyst, that's really the only one. We'll see what happens. I mean, if it could, I mean, SES, I'm looking at SES. If it can break this would be nice. I mean, if it can break that high right there, if it could break the, was it 285, something like that? If it could break that, we might be able to get a runner. Who knows? We do not know. We do not know. 285, yeah. We're going to put a stop here at 280. So SES is really the only one that's actually looking halfway decent. REKR has a catalyst, but REKR kind of sold off and then it kind of regained. I mean, that's not how I really like this. It's not like how I like it. And REKR has a catalyst. Benzinga News, Ricor Systems secures statewide GDOT contract to deploy AI-powered roadway intelligence across Georgia. Okay, that's fine. SES AI enhances leadership of material discovery and battery industry with newest version of Molecule Universe and enterprise level subscription offerings. Okay, that means a whole lot, I guess. I don't know. I mean, if we can break the $3 mark, let's see what we can do with the $3 mark. We're running up to $3. Let's see what we can get, people. Let's see what we can get. It's at 291, 294. If we can break the SES, if we can break the $3 mark, you get yourself a nice little run, man. You might be able to. Who knows? The one thing I didn't like about this in the beginning was that topping tail. That's what I just don't like about it. That's why I didn't like it in the beginning, was because of that topping tail, but it did kind of work out. See, if you look at the topping tail right here, this is the topping tail. That's why I didn't like, but then we had a hammer on the 5 minute. Then we had a hammer on the 5 minute. That looked good. So if you got in on the hammer on that 5 minute, that would be okay. I mean, you'd already be netted about 20 cents. Your stop's down at the low, which is about 11 cents, I think. I can't really see. Stuff's in the way. But, you know, it is what it is. And a decent trade and a profitable trade. And that's really all that matters for right now. Now, 288, I could possibly let this breathe. I got to stop at 284. Oh, that's good. He's getting bigger. He's eating up. Eat up, boy. Get bigger. Eat up. REKR kind of rebounded, but I didn't like that 5 minute the way it sold off. I mean, it did rebound. That's good. I mean, it rebounded. That's nice. I mean, SES, I've got I mean, I got in at 278 on SES. That's my cost basis is 278. So I'm at 278 cost basis on SES. I've already taken a little bit of profit. When we I've already I mean, this is a 5 minute. If we look at a 1 minute right here, let's look at a 1 minute right here. Because the bottom left is but that's a 5 minute. This is the daily right here. This is the 5 minute. Let's look at a 1 minute. I'm at 278. Okay. So I went on ahead and got in right up in this area. And then right now, let's see if we can break this $3 mark. That would be awesome if we could. Um, I'm going to go ahead and move my stop up to 289. I'm just going to lock in a little bit more profit. Um, if we get a runner, we get a runner. If we can break this $3, that would be nice. If not, then it's going to come and stop me out at 289. 27, I get about 10 cents on that. You know, that's fine. It's a $3 stock, roughly. Yeah, so let's look at the. I like looking at the top traded. Now, SES is up here. AMDL, that really didn't amount to anything. AMDL didn't have any catalyst. REKR is. REKR kind of dropped off. REKR, biggest movers. REKR is the biggest mover. I think that's why I had that on there because it was the biggest mover. And I think I had that on there. 298. Come on, you can break it. You can break that $3. Push it there. I guess not. Uh, I got to keep an eye on this. Make sure the order gets filled. If we get down here, I got to make sure this order fills. If we can't break it. But SES, top traded gainers. That's what I look for. Now, the first 5 minutes, if that candle is red, now REKR was a red candle and all of a sudden it reversed. We had some inside bars right there. I mean, that was pretty good. REKR. Let's look at REKR. Now, see, this first 5 minute right here, big, huge red candle. Okay, I didn't quite like that. I didn't quite like it. You know, we kind of dumped down, but then we kind of reversed. That's good. That's good. Once we got up here, what, 945? Once we got up to 945, which is right around in this area, I mean, we had a pop and we had a little micro pullback right there. You could have gotten in right there and then taken your profits. I don't know, 5 cents. You know, I don't know. SES has broke the $3 mark. That's fantastic. Broke the $3 mark. Let's go, boys. Um, I just don't know. You know, SES is the best one. SES is the best one. Why? Because it's a top traded gainer and it has volume. Thank you. High five. Good job. Uh, talking to my kid. Mm, yeah. I'm gonna move my stop up to 294. I'm gonna move my stop up to 294. It is what it is. I wish I bought more shares. Of course, you always think that when you're in a good profitable trade, you're like, man, I wish I would have doubled up on my shares. Doubled up on them, baby. Get you some. Oh well. Oh well. Yeah. Wow, SES is really popping here. It's doing pretty good. Well, SES is doing pretty good. Let's see what. Let's take a look at this. Where's my stop? I think my stop's at 294, something like that. Yeah, 294. So I mean 294. It's right up there. I mean, the EMA is at 298. You know, I'm trading this off a 5 minute chart. I'm gonna let it breathe a little bit. Let it breathe a little bit. I mean, I'm at 294. I could get stopped out. Who knows? You know, it's away from the on a 5 minute. if you look at the 5 minute, 284 is the EMA. Now, stocks like to trade around their EMA. As you can see here on the 1 minute right here, it popped up and came right back to the EMA. As you can see here, we kind of deviated from the EMA. You see that big open area right there? We deviated right here. We really deviated from it, and look what happens. It comes right back down to it. So stocks like to trade around their EMA. You see this big open area? We're up here, and look what it did. Bounced off the EMA. I mean, stocks like to trade around their EMA, and on a 5 minute, look at that. So I could get stopped out. It is what it is. I'll take my profits. I'm in a beautiful trade. This is the only trade that I have taken for market hours. REKR, that was nice. LIDR kind of dropped off. I don't know what the heck is going on with that. Let me take a look at this. We might get stopped out here. I think we did get stopped out. Yep. No? Why does it keep flipping? Ooh, that's why. It keeps flipping on me. SES. Yeah, I don't care. All right, I think I fixed it. I'm going to trade the pool trying to pass those evaluations. I mean, trade the pool is pretty nice. It is what it is. It's nice. We might get stopped out. We might not. I'm at 294. We got a few cents. It made a decent run. It made a decent run. Okay, it made a decent run. It made a decent run, people. Yeah, let me take a look at this. So on top traded, we have SES is the only one with the catalyst. So yeah, we're getting stopped out. Yep, got stopped out. Okay, that's fine. It was a good trade. It was a good trade. We made a little bit of money. I think I'm done for the day. We're green for the day. I'm good. SES could be coming down hard. SES could come down hard. SES could come down quite hard. What are we looking at? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay. Change percent. SES is really the only one we had, people. I mean, REKR. I mean, let's look at REKR. REKR was okay. I mean, you had that sell off. It was below the EMA, below the VWAP, and then all of a sudden it regained it right around up in this area. Right up in this area, it regained the VWAP and the non-EMA, and then we had a micro pullback right up in this area. You could have got yourself up in there because you're at the highs, at the overnight and pre-market highs right there, and you probably could have scalped yourself some out of that. Maybe, got yourself 4 or 5 cents. It ain't worth it, to be quite honest. It ain't worth it. REKR ain't worth it, man. It just wasn't worth it. That's why I didn't trade it. I'm just trying to tell you what you could have done if you wanted that. And then what did we look at? LIDR. LIDR didn't do anything. I had it up on my chart. LIDR. I had it up on my chart like, oh, okay, what is it going to do? And look what it did on the 5 minute. first 5 minute candle was just a down candle, and look what it's doing. It's just selling off. I don't look for that. That's what I do not look for that. When I see that, it's like, okay, I don't want it. When I see it, I don't want it. So what did we have? We had LIDR, first 5 minutes, down candle. Okay. Um, okay. Down candle, first 5 minutes. That's actually, so you don't get confused. First 5 minutes, down candle, did not want that at all. Did not want it. It's a down candle. First 5 minutes, did not want it. REKR. REKR, down candle. Look at that. First candle right there, down. Do not want that. That was REKR. AMDL. We were looking at AMDL, but AMDL did not, and actually, I think I traded that. I think I did. Where's my fill orders? AMDL. I did buy it. AMDL was a small loser. AMDL because I was like, you know what? I'm out. No catalyst. It was just moving. I got old giddy about it because look at this. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that big old green candle right there. The first 5 minutes. The big old green candle right there. I was all giddy, so I jumped in and I was like, whoops, I'm wrong. So I got out. Took my loss like a big boy. Took my butt whooping like a big boy. And then I got out. Actually, it didn't whoop my butt, but hey, you know, it told me I was wrong. And I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I get out. And I was wrong. I got out. There was no catalyst. There was nothing there. So why would you trade it? I don't know. I don't know why I traded it. There was no catalyst. Stupid. It's not my game plan. So I just got out, took a small loss. So AMDL. So we had LIDR, first 5 minutes. If you look at that, first 5 minutes right there, red. REKR, first 5 minutes, red. Then it rebound. That's not showing me strength. I don't want that. Then AMDL, green, first 5 minutes. It was pulling back, and I think I tried to get in up in this area, and then I just saw these wicks, and then it started wicking down, and I'm like, I'm done. I'll take my loss like a big boy. Okay, just take your loss like a big boy, move on. Go trade SES. Go trade SES. Now, SES is a little bit different. SES is a little bit different because it's not an ideal setup. Where's my VWAPer? Volume weighted average price. Okay, so the first 5 minutes. First 5 minutes is this bar right here is the first 5 minutes. Okay, first 5 minutes. However, first 5 minutes was not looking too swifty there, people. First 5 minutes, we had nice volume, of course, because it's first 5 minutes, but we have this big, huge wick right here, and that's more than half the move. So I was like, ooh, that's not looking good. Then we had a hammer. I was like, ooh, that's looking good. Now, if I was playing my game smart, I possibly could have gotten in there and had like a 10-cent stop, go in with thousands of shares would be good for SES because that thing's trading like millions. Okay. First 5 minutes, that thing was trading 259,000. That one's trading 93,000. Yeah, and then all of a sudden it just kind of cranked up a little bit. You know, I mean the first SES, yeah. Okay, so SES, you could have gotten in on that. And how I like to play these 5 minutes is you get a 5 minute. That's a reversal candle right there. It's inside this. It actually broke that. You could have put your stop down here at the low. I think that's like a 10-cent stop. 73.63. Yeah, so it's like a 10-cent stop. But I didn't do that. I got in right up in this area right here. This is where I got in, was right up in this area, and then I just added to the trade right up in here, okay, on this candle. So it kind of came up, kind of broke down a little bit. Once we were moving back up, I added to the trade, and then I got out at what, 294 or something like that. Yeah, 294. So I took some profit. Where did I take profit? I took some profit up in this area. Okay, up in this area because it popped. I took some profit, and then I moved my stop up to 294, which was this right here. 294 because, it's the low of that candle right there. Okay. So we had a nice run up right up in this area. I'm selling half. I'm paying myself. I'm selling half. And then I moved my stop to, actually, I had my stop down here, and then I moved it up to here. Okay. So you get this pop, you can add to the trade because I didn't like this wick right here. This wick right here, I just did not quite like it. So I did a starter at 278, which was right down in here, and then I added to the trade right here. And then once we got this pop, I sell half, and then I started moving my break even up here, and then move my break even up, and just try to follow it up. That's how I play it. That is how I play it. I mean, you got some low floaters. Let's take a look at some low floaters here. I'm going to move it. Let's take a look at the low floaters and see what we got going on. Uh, and with SES, here's the thing. You can play SES on a 1 minute candle too. I was playing it on a 5 minute, but you can play it on a 1 minute candle. So you had this area right up in here, and then we had a run up, and you had a little micro pullback right there with the slope of the EMA sloping upwards. You can get in right here and get a stop at 3 cents, and then you can scalp yourself like 5 cents right there. Okay. Or you can actually add, once you get a pullback right here, you can do a starter, and then once you break this, you can add to it, and then you get yourself about 8 cents. I played it off of 5 minute, so it is what it is. You can play it off 5 minute, 1 minute, whatever you want to do. 15 second. Nah, not 15 second. Pre-market is good for 15 second. 1 minute and 15 second, just because of breaking news and moving fast. That's the only thing. And the 15 seconds not always that good. And the reason why it's not always that good for a 15 second is because it might not be moving fast enough. It might not be moving fast enough. But SES, we got ourselves a decent trade. Well, we got, let's go back here. That's 5 minute. That's a daily. This is a 1 minute. So let's look at SPRB. SPRB, there was nothing there. There's nothing there. SPRB, there's nothing there. That's a catalyst. QMCO. QMCO. Okay, nice trade. Nice trade. Right here. We had a nice little run up. We had a little micro pullback here at 10 o'clock. You could have gotten yourself in there around 10 o'clock. Actually, we had a run up here. Get yourself a nice 30 cents. QMCO. Nice trades. Nice trades. ULY. Yeah. Let's look at ULY because that ain't looking too hot. That ain't looking too good. Okay. So QMCO. The only reason I'm skipping all the other ones is because they don't have a catalyst. I mean, for these low floats, you want a catalyst for low floats. You need a catalyst. You need a catalyst. Just like SES. SES has a catalyst. People made their money and now they're done with it. They made their money and now they're done with it. Now, SES has a float of 248 million. Let's just round it off. 250 million float. Okay, so these the low floats, yes, they're volatile. And these top traded, just because they have high floats don't mean you can't make money, as you just saw me make money on this one, on SES. I just made money on that one. Uh, 278 to 294. I made 16 cents on that. 16 cents on every 1,000 shares, $160. Let's say roughly 150 bucks. I mean, hey, 2,000 shares, you nudge up about $300. That'll take about 6 grand, 6,000. So, for a small account, yeah, you can trade these mediocre high floaters. I mean, the real big boys with a billion floats, they're a little bit hard. But yeah, I mean, QMCO, let's have a 5 million float. I mean, 5 million float on QMCO. I mean, look at that. You got yourself run right there. I had a pullback. I don't know about this one. I've been looking at some trades that I'm going to start looking at this. When you have the EMA right here, and then right down in this area, you see how it was trading above the EMA, and then all of a sudden, on a 1 minute, it went back down. And then you got this right here that closed above the EMA, non-EMA right here, and the non-EMA is sloping upwards, and then you get in on the break of that, and you start riding it up. And you just start riding it up and go from low to low. I mean, right here at $1, you'd be taking it off. To be quite honest, I mean, 1,000 shares, make yourself $1. Yeah, you'd be taking it off. I need to. I think tomorrow I'm going to look at some low floaters too as well. I'm going to look at the low floaters as well for the 5-minute plays. Today I was just focused on top traded. I think what I can do, because we didn't have very much. I thought we would have like 4 or 5 top traded with a catalyst, but really we only had a couple, and we had SES, REKR, LIDR, but 2 of them, only one of them paid out, which is fine. That's all you need is one good trade a day. Maybe I should take have 2 for the low floats. Pick the top 2, the top biggest percentage low floaters, the top SPRB. I wouldn't trade that. I don't know what's up with that SPRB. I don't even think it's even showing up on SPRB. Yeah, it's not even showing up. I don't know what's up with that. But, take the top 2, like ULY, that would not work out, and QMCO, that would not work out. Now I have AGRZ. AGRZ, there ain't nothing there. AGRZ, look at the volume. There ain't nothing. That's crap. How can you trade that? How can you trade that, man? If you sort by volume, with the low floaters, I do like sorting with the volume, to be honest, because I know what's moving. We have CISS, CISS. Okay, that moved on the 1 minute, and actually it moved on the 5 minute. First 5 minutes was kind of like a sell off a little bit. Then we closed above the EMA and the VWAP, and then we kind of broke that. So we ran up. We had a little micro pullback right there. Right here, we had a micro pullback, and if you get in, it's about 35 cents, but then it ran like 50. And then it got, I don't know what happened here. I don't know, dollar. You can make some money off of these low floaters during market hours. You don't need to be trading pre-market. You can if you want. But you can make money on market hours. But QMCO. I like sorting by volume because, I don't care if a stock is up 100% with low volume. I'd rather take a stock up 25% with high volume. That's just me. And if that 100% all of a sudden does start kicking in with high volume, then it's going to show up. It's going to show up when I'm sorted by volume. It's going to show up. QMCO. That was a decent one. You got to run up. You got a micro pullback. You get in here, get a little doji right there. Once it starts breaking right up in here, you just take some off. Take half off. Leave another half a running. You're during market hours, so you can, when you get a pop like this, you can go ahead and sell half and move to a break even, and then see what you can get. That's how the game's played. I need to fix this chart to do the visual trading. Yes. Oh, wait a minute. That's why I didn't do it. Okay. Blah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Wonder what my accuracy is.